Good morning, everyone. Today we have with us Dr. Nikhitha Yathiraju. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
First of all, I would like to give a small introduction about you so that our viewers know who you are. Dr. Nikhitha Yathiraju received a Ph.D. in Information Technology from the University of the Cumberland, USA. She completed her Master's in Computer Science from Silicon Valley University, USA in 2016. Her research work was in study of artificial intelligence in cloud enterprise resource planning. She is interested in writing the journals and articles on cyber threats in cloud technologies and social engineering techniques. She was certified Salesforce administrator and works as lead automation engineer in California, USA. She had worked as a teaching assistant in Silicon Valley University. She was honored as International Best Researcher Award by ISSN IIRSE 2023. She was also honored as Best Researcher in Artificial Intelligence by IRDCP 2022 International Conference. She also serves as a keynote speaker, judge at various international conferences. I would give the control to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your brief introduction about me. So I hope people will know more about me after this session. So I would like to share my screen. Just let me know when if it is available. Is it Dr. With? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, it is available. Yes, please go ahead.
And I hope you're not seeing my notes. So I prepared a slide presentation. So as already Nakul introduced me, so I worked in an utility company, which is Pacific Gas and Electricity Company. So in my past 5 to 6 years of experience working in the company, I have, when working, I have gone through certain technologies or like the other implementations what company is going through. So I just want to give the presentation on like how they are sustaining the cyber security techniques in that particular domain. So all of you know, like in today's environment, so utility is a kind of a primary support for every household. So utility means, utility will come under, electricity, water management, sewage management, everything. Like it's a primary support for a house to run. So for a house to run, so basically they will know where is your address, where is your personal information about your house, or like maybe you could take it as like dimensions of the house also will be mentioning in this. So in this seminar, I just want to give an overview of like how the threats and the cybersecurity technologies what my company is implementing, and also few maybe you are not already aware of the normal threats, cyber threats, or whatever every organization is going through. But I just want to give an overview on how utilities will act on it, and how responsible a company or a contractor who is working in a utility company, they will have to go through this. The frequent technology in a utility company, they will go with the customer service. So that's the primary a key factor for them, that serving the customer, like they could pay a bill by any ways, like if they don't have this digital paying method, they will definitely come to one office, one utility office, and they can just pay the bill over there and through cash also. But the main service is like to provide the electricity, to provide the water, to provide some management services what they are implementing to the customer. So to make this is easy, they have adopted this digital transformation. So like now no customer will have to come to our office. They can pay online. They can call via IVR, and they to via various options they can pay to their credit cards and all. So on this information, like what they do, they just have the customer information in their database of every utility company. So how they were, protecting the data without, going for another malware practices, whatever we have in every organization we have, I guess. Like mostly you will see in the retail, and you will see supply chains like Amazon. Everything you will see, our cards or our personal information has been carried by them. So the same thing utility also will do. But the other threat what we have for the utility is like, if it is something to Amazon, you can just block your card, you can just say, okay, I didn't make this purchase and all. But utility is not like that. Basically, if when they were entering your system, they know what, like, whole information, not about you, your cards or your phone number, your address, everything will be like almost, your social security number, which is like important in US, obviously everyone knows. So these everything will be like, almost published to the hacker, or the guy who is going to store your information, steal your information. So that is one of the thing. And another thing is like what I see is like the smart grid technology. So because utility have to have their services through a smart grid. So here grid means we'll call them as transformers in India, but here it is like they call it as grid. So grid to grid, they'll have some pole information. They'll have like till which area that pole is covering, and what walls, all this meter kind of information was, they will, manage through the smart grid technology. And for every state, like basically we'll have east, central, west, and mountain view times of, zones of in US. So they will have, according to the climatical conditions of their every atmosphere, they will have their own set of rules. For example, I work in California, so we'll have like, California Public Utility Commission. So basically that whole utility, like whoever it may be, a big, large organization or any small organization who are, working as an aggregators, they also have to follow the same rules when we were enrolling the customers into their programs, or like every customer will have an account with that customer, that utility company for sure. But enrolling in some programs may increase their chances of getting the incentives or anything. Like, these programs are basically motivating the customer to participate in these programs. And for further, we will definitely have this usage information of the customer. So where we'll manage the smart grid technology. Usually we'll call it as demand response. You guys can, check in online what is demand response. Maybe I should not give more information on it, but I'm just giving. And another thing is automation technology. How the things are, automation, I already know the things will be done faster more than the manual process. Like what our technology is supporting to do the things faster. And energy storage technology, like different kind of ONDCs, we'll call them like labs, where high tension wires and all these managing systems are happening. So they will use this energy storage technology. And obviously digital payments system options, like whether it could be through a phone, or it could be through any automatic billing system we'll have. So all these are covered under this utilities. Like these are the more technologies they try to equip, and these are the basic things, because their more money resource is generating the electricity and giving it to everyone. And what are the data structures they have? So they have huge amount of data. Trust me. Why? Because see, you consider, okay, in a day, consider for each and every apartment. For suppose you have a complex, or you'll have like too many apartments in it. So for each and every unit, how much they are utilizing the amount. So consider about a state in it. If they are maintaining 2 to 3 other states, if suppose in that region, like West Coast region. So they have to collect the information of each and every customer under that, and we have to give this information to our, obviously the audit people who are coming from the state. So we need to have this lot of information for the customer. Definitely we'll have about the billing, their usage, and their geometrical directions, and what meter we have fit in that particular location, premise, and all. We will have this. And also weather. Okay, basically we need to have the reliable system where we will be capable of storing this kind of information. And definitely when we were working with third-party vendors, so utilities means directly you'll get one thought directly as a solar system. So now solar is emerging in each and every state, or I think in India also it is happening. So you see, we have to work with another vendors for sure, because a certain devices or certain prohibited resources, we will call them here, which is called generators in India. Like basically, an external source of an electricity was given by an energy generator. So these all information, basically, the transformation of the files will happen from one company to another company for sure in utility. It is not confined to particular one organization. We have to work with a smaller organization than us, or we have to work with a bigger organization than us. So where there we have this kind of data structures, we have to prepare for getting that information. And data collection, how we were collecting the data for customers. So initial days, how it is, like, if we used to have surveillance, or like we used to have a service people, where we call them as field workers. They'll go to each and every customers, and if they have any problem raised on it, we'll just take the information, what is the problem and all. We used to note it down, and the field service people, when they have that order number comes in, they'll come and repair it. But now the things have changed. So to this digital world, so we will give iPads or some other fast reaching source to the field workers, and we'll make sure that each and every grid and every line was working properly, which really we need the customer's information, that what is happening at their location. And also we will have another information where we were taking from the customers, is like conducting the surveys and doing the inspection based upon, like, it's not like only customer complaint will go and say it, because of this wildfire when it is going to the west, and some states are more prone to what do you call this, storms, hailstorms and all. So for this, basically, the grid or the lines or whatever we were installing to support the customer should be acting properly. For example, like you heard a lot about California wildfire situations happening because of this only. So it's not about like any worker has overthrown it, or it's just like some customer at their home, they just relax in their backyard, they smoke, and they just lit one thing at the corner, and it just entirely, because to the huge winds, it just forward very fastly. So but if this thing happened, why any of a service company, because of the wires or anything installation, which basically that wire, the installations, whatever we put, if that it reaches the expiration dates, we have to basically do the inspections for each and every grid. And before that season, we'll make sure that field workers assign themselves to the particular location and work on it. Not only this, any sewage or gas, basically we use gas, right? Like it's via wires only, again underground wires. So everything have to go, and field workers have to do these inspections, and they have to correct it down if any issues are there earlier before the season. It's like a season prep for all of us. And yeah, I think the third point is telling about that. And some data we can automatically do it via their surveys or anything taken up by the customers. We will definitely take it and work on it. And about the cyber attacks. So mostly on the cyber security, how it is. So basically, cyber security are divided in utility for an operational OT. They will call them as operational technology. That is called team. Like this, like they are basically doing the customer facing job. Whereas the IT, information technology team, they work on the support to the field workers or the program managers we have. So these are like we have to differentiate basically which what are the cyber security techniques we can implement, or also the threats we have for these two set of people in the organization, like workers in the organization. So the IT people will mostly work on like what all the techniques we can use to make the customer data flow into our organization very fast and secure. And the OT, like taking the information and keep them secure till it reaches to IT or it reaches to some database. So for this, we usually we will see like basically because we have to connect with the customers also. Mostly the general cyber security techniques only will be used, because they're more focused on this, other kind of things which basically satisfy the end customer more, because those are people like which more important to the utilities. And it could be in the office or it could be out of the field. We should be working for the customer, end customer for sure. And why this is important in the utilities company? So as I said earlier, definitely we have a lot of information about the customer in our database, whether it could be a payment thing or it could be the meter data, anything we will have this. In United States, we have water management. Basically, water management. Like every business will go as usual until and unless some a natural thing happened, like earthquakes or these wildfires or storms. Everything happened. Till then, everything will work fine and smooth, because because utility is our daily thing in our life, like daily. It's a part of our life. It's a main part of us. So everything will go smooth as far as we have this. Unusual items will occur at the time of, because this is mostly like the customer will experience it, right? So basically, and that can happen via any natural calamities we have. So these to avoid this, basically, if suppose a whole team works on some certain item, we have to basically consider the IT also have to secure the data when any breach is happening. So we have to make sure our systems, because I think you recently heard, I think it's still happening, Russia and Ukraine war, the first thing what Russia did to Ukraine is like stopping their utility. It's just like you will not have anything, water, no electricity, nothing. You just think world without light. So you can see like the thing is like the basic need will be affected if any certain things happen, whether it could be a social war or it could be any other cyber war, anything. The utility company is the first targeted organization, what I feel like. And the threats impacts in the utility company. Most of the threats we already know, every organization will go through, and I'll just go through the normal basic ones like malware, using the suspicious technologies or the systems, and ransomware, where they demand more amount by handovering all their all our systems and the business. And denial of service, definitely utility is a service based company. Any utility company is a service based company. So if our all systems are hacked, the denial of service is the first thing they will do. Spam and phishing, how in IT people basically they'll come through this social engineering, spamming and phishing, because we do work with a lot of other vendors. Definitely phishing technique is a most thing we will see when in our daily working scenario. And corporate account takeout, it's mostly all of our database are being hacked about this CATO, and this is the most seen in cyber threat in utility sector. And the automated telling machine. So few of the utility sector try to pay via the ATMs. We have it in like everywhere. We'll have the ATMs to draw the money. So basically, they introduced they can pay their bill, because few of you consider like we know the technology. Think about the people who are in 1960s, 1970s. We have to support them, right? Because this is the basic need. It should be useful for all. So for that, they have introduced this teller mission for them. And at that time also there is a physical security impact we have and this is one of the impact I see in the cyber threats. And the long-term cyber security demand, like how it is. So because of the cyber security operations and all, we have definitely they have to go for a long-term security solutions, and it should be flexible. They can accommodate different threats they have for their company. They will mostly acquire the technology, but they have to consider, for example, because my PhD was in artificial intelligence, but definitely a robo can go and solve the problems to with the customer, right? So some things can be automated, but certain things when coming to the customer, so their basic needs to be addressed. So few of the technologies when they were acquiring, they have to be very careful in utility company, and they can't take any rapid decisions on taking up. I know technology is emerging more, but also we have to consider like what are the present situations in our company and how are threats or being cybersecurity technology or the team is able to cope up with that or not. And in the recent advancements, what I see in my working in my working company or like the present company, because it has become mostly working place, so we usually not allow any company any full time or contractor employees work outside the state, which means we'll just tighten our VPN system so that no one can enter into our, even though we can work under out of state, but we have like certain locations only there. If the physical team available for that particular location is there, only they will allow. It's like they will have a full tight. VPN system where they no malware practices happen via if any attacks happen to for the IT, and also for the field workers, they will have they'll make sure that they, because the safety of the workers is also important for us because they'll climb big poles, and also these and all, for that advancements they have taken care. And when collecting the customer information, we have to make sure that customer is under their particular age and they were giving some reliable information or the most genuine information about it, and based on that we'll take the actions. um, and definitely there are some improvements we can do in current utility system, but depending upon like how much they have acquired till now, from then onwards they can consider taking up from there, for upcoming challenges too also. And what are the cyber threats in a utility company? I mean, how to overcome the cyber threats in this utility company? So mostly the utility company cyber threats are like economic disruption, and so if you take care, if you just hack a utility company for that region, basically you have to hand over almost the state in your thing. So they have to be that much careful, and also they have to consider that they are following the state rules, set of rules given by state, and definitely they will have their state support to collect the customers information and how they are managing the information. They'll have audit for every 1 year, and they'll make sure that the data which was taken was properly used. And if certain if they reach that certain time, they will definitely do the data there is no data redemption policy. Definitely it should be merged, and it should be shredded or something. And also the geographical and organizational concept complexity of these utilities is disrupted by nature. And also the cybersecurity team and the leadership, they just make sure that whatever, if suppose if you go to any IT employee, if any company asset was assigned to him, they'll make sure that he is 100% owner of it, and by following all the normal technology like MFA, and a few people will use this global connect. So they have to make sure that these are followed by employees. And also get for the billing fraud. So I have got one example here when I was working in my project. It's like we have reached out to a customer and we said, okay, you got your increment or like incentives for your billing because you have participated in certain program and there you performed very well. Because we do deal with large organizations, like large, not organizations, I can say large customers like business customers, industrial customers. These are like more power utilizing people, and we should support them. So when we reached out to them, and they were helping us to use the power in less compared to their normal usage at a certain times. Basically, we do award them with certain incentives to them. So like that only, we have another some residential programs also where one of the customer has participated, and the customer, we have given the incentives, and the customer was not able to pay the bill by a phone. And we sent out our field worker, and I mean, basically they called, and that never happened, like because they were not aware of it, like this certain things PG&E or any utility company will just send a bill to them. And there also they were like, okay, we were not understanding. I don't say like everyone know English, but it's not about knowing about the bill, it's about how to pay. And they have gone through this, and they have asked some other a neighbor or someone to pay. So these billing frauds can happen, and sometimes the hackers can definitely, this is where how they know. Okay, there is a website for them. We can go. We can do this. We can do this. Basically, we are giving all this extra information on site, and people, if they are seeking help, it is taken as an advantage for the hackers to do. And the customer did come back and said he paid the bill, and he's happy that he got the incentives. But the thing is, like, that payment was not recorded to us. Somewhere it is. So how the billing fraud happens is like it's because of this only. Because how, if the customer doesn't know the basic thing, like, or it's not. I mean, I don't say the billing thing is a basic, but it just, if you see, if they don't know how to manage it, then they are the sites for the hackers to do anything. And also the duplicate sites of an utility company. So for sure, because our SSN or our social security number was given to an utility company, because everything began on household, as I said. There is a chance that you might receive a phone call normally, and they will say that you are, just, your bill is like overdue, you have to pay it. And because the utility company is the basic thing for them, they'll just scale and they'll just pay it off. So these information, and after paying, they'll just throw it to the trash. They don't even shred it. So these kind of information, we have to train our end customers. And also, when we were giving certain type of information, we have to make sure that the only necessary information was there on the billing paper, whichever we sent to them for their billing purpose. So this physical destruction should be destruction of that bill is mandatory for us. So that we have to do. And so the conclusion is like, now it has a wider challenges as of now. But even though your fields for when you're connecting with any third party vendors, even though you're encrypting your fields or the necessary information, whatever you're giving about the customers to the other vendor, you can have these issues. So we have to make sure that our APIs or everything was security driven. And the infrastructure, the utilities company cybersecurity infrastructure also should have more target and should be focusing on the cyber criminals, because that's the first target. And also about the preparedness, like if any attack comes in, like what is the first step they have to do. So that should be given to every operational employee and also an IT employee, how they have to act when certain things happen. And also about we have to understand like what all departments we have to safeguard first, and then go through other things, because certain departments we have to take care at first when these kind of issues happen, cyber issues happen in an organization. And also they have to make sure that these cyber security programs, record management programs, or like record management is just like about you're saving your data under any sites like Microsoft or anything like 365. You will have this all your sites, like how they are owning it, whether they were, it just the files are purging after a certain time. So all these should be understood by the IT and also the operation technology team when they were reaching to the customer. These all things should be taken care. Yeah. So these are all, like, I have given the outline of how the utility and what are the possible threats we have and how the infrastructure in the utility we will mostly see. And this is yeah, I mean, I hope I explained at least the outline of it. So I would like to go. I would like you to go online and see what all different utility companies they how they follow the cyber security techniques, just to make sure that they serve the end customer happily. So it's very nice opportunity for me to share my thoughts on cyber security, and definitely I feel like, my the information what I gave will definitely help you. Um, are you still seeing my screen? One second. And I'm ready for all the questions you have. Maybe certain information, because of my company policy, I may not give more, but I would like to give what can happen based on my experience if based on the questions. Sir.
Ma'am, before the question answer session, I would like to first introduce Dr. Pawan Whig sir and give a brief introduction about him, because we want to question both of you, because you both are experts in this field.
So,
Let me introduce Dr. Pawan Whig sir. He is Google certified in digital marketing. He's working in the field of IT from last 25 years, and he is the reviewer of several international referred journals. He is a mentor of the research world. He is member of International Association of Engineers, Hong Kong, ISTE, IEEE, IEI, and Computer Society of India. He published technical articles in more than 150 nationals and international journals. He has wide area of research like AI, ML, IoT, analog signal processing, sensor modeling, water quality monitoring applications, and simulation and design. Over to you, sir.
thank you, Nakul, for welcome. And the topic that has chosen by Nikhitha was, it was very good. That is sustainability of cyber security techniques in utility domain. I just want to add something from artificial intelligence side, how make it sustainable. Sustainable, as you know, everyone nowadays we are taking care about our future. So I read one of the case study that Harvard has implemented. They for sustainable development, what we have to do basically in every sector, particularly in utility sector, if we are talking about, I think the self-discipline, as Nikita rightly said in her presentation, that the self-discipline is one of the very important thing. Means you have to self-learn. Then most of the things are under control. One thing, one point. But how this AI help you out in achieving this sustainability? That is one way. This is a case study that I read about, but this is a very important, should be implemented in India also. It is already implemented in widely in international countries, in many countries. I know what they do to, they like a reinforcement learning in robotics, where we train the robots by giving the rewards. Rewards means if the robot does the good job, then we give them some certain rewards. The same technique they follow in utility domain. With the electricity bills, they gives the name of the person who saved the electricity in that particular month with all the data. I think the data or the bill, the previous bills, they means they as a in an organization we give a best employee award. In the same way, they published it in all the bills. So it's a sort of competition among the people when they saw their real photograph with the how much they save and how much they contribute in carbon footprint. This will this will not only give them a feeling of proud, they and they created a like a competition. So this is something which is very very important for sustainability. See, any no one can do any task without any reward. Everyone has certain greed about for particular process. They have certain in their mind that we will get this when we do this, like this. In the same way, in utility domain, if these kind of award system, like she said, there are many events are occur and they give some incentives to the people, so that they are more, they particularly engaging the people, and they motivated them to participate in this certain talk. So in the same way, in AI, like in AI we propagate like reinforcement learning. I gave you example. The same thing can be done in this way. And one very important thing that I liked in her presentation, that she said, when the people have to be trained. I mean, when like a old age, like she said, they said some the workers to check the wires and everything, and they replaced it. This is again a very important thing. For this, a digital twin technology comes into play, where the exactly the digital model of that particular thing is available to you, that will tell you how like the wires get aged, or there is a expiry date of a wire. But in India, I think no one taking care about this until or unless some mishappening happens, then they go and change the wire. But I like the country where they are very particular about these things, because this is not only save the lives, but also they make the system optimized. You can use it in a proper way, or with a good efficiency, good efficiency. Like, uh, why these wires has to be replaced, why there is an expiry date. This is just because there is a carbon get accumulated on the
Yes.
wires, and which makes its resistance more, due to which it is not, we are sending the voltage like 230 volt, but we are receiving only about 200 volts, means there is some losses. So to overcome that losses, if you spend some efforts, if you do some efforts and replace them, that will not only, obviously there is an efforts, but that efforts, if you compare the cost of the loss, it will be makes you in profit. So this is a very important, that is what I called. Similarly, like IoT can help in this sustainability, for to maintain the sustainability. Like, for a room, or for a for a organization or a industry, if you regularly check the air condition working, or the fan at its, because why we do the services of these systems, the only thing is, when we serviced it, lot of these dust and the other factors, they or particularly we called it carbon, they reduce the full capacity of that particular instrument or that particular thing. So if you keep on regularly watch it, and how to watch it, there is no always to you open it and watch. You just measure the other parameters like current and voltage, or the efficiency of the fan. You can understand that it needs services or this. So this is an again one means, through IoT, through machine learning, through AI, through digital twin, there are a lot of technologies, upcoming technologies, through which we will make it sustainable. Definitely, we will start one collaborative project, and I'll invite Nikita also in to join us, to to make certain sustainable protocols or something, where, or some sort of what we call it, practical implementation of certain models, so that it can be used in the utility domain, and to tackle the particularly the threats that she discussed in her presentation. The threats, talking about the threats, definitely, when there is a evolution, or when the system evolve, lot of
Yeah.
intruders will come. They will try to disturb your system or your working, and this can be definitely can be minimized by using the latest technologies, but yes, with the complete awareness also. So you should be properly aware, properly trained, or this is a good step that is taken by the US, that they train the people. They have a skilled worker which went to the door to door and trained the people. This is a good step, and I think in the upcoming era, the this can be replaced with the robotics or some robots or some sort of gadgets, like she told. They gave some tabs where there is a complete information, because nowadays every information is available on the internet, but the problem is people do not know how to access it.
How to utilize it? Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So this is again a very problem. So this is for
Uh,
this you should have to be aware them by conducting some events, conducting some
Seminars,
webinars.
yeah.
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 So this is all about from my side, Nukul. Now you can go ahead with your session.
Thank you, Dr. Vidya.
Thank you.
So now we have communities in. Please pardon me.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, were you saying something?
Yeah. So now coming to the IoT devices, when you're talking, so I do have that in my present company. I just want to share it with you. I can't give much more information, but I can. So usually, so the power, whatever, it should not be wasted. So the good part, what I like, when I was working in this utility company, is like the power whatever saved by the customer, like we will definitely aware through our websites, or we'll campaign, we'll just let them know, so please come and participate in this certain program. These are approved by the state commission, and participate, save your power, and you can bid that power to another utility company. So it is like they were saving something and they were giving it, and for saving they were getting the incentives. So
This
certain program is there, because if it is like large industries, definitely they can save. But see, 500 square feet or 600 square feet apartment. So what the initiative what they made is like having a device which is related to our company, which we can regulate them here from our system. So that is another kind of infrastructure we have. Like we'll just take the information from the customer. If they are definitely eligible for the program they have, we'll go install the device at their place. And for that, we have to work with another aggregator. Like you may know Honeywell, or these are the aggregators for the devices we'll work with. So we have like AC units, automated DR we call them, like automated demand response we call them. So they'll have their the regulators will install at their place, and whenever they are in our program, we'll make sure that our device installation happens. Again, for this we'll work with another aggregator, another service-based company, and they just go and install the device at their place. And based upon the utilization, we calculate the usage data, and we do give them incentives because they are doing something to save the energy for the whole state. And the second point, what I want to mention is like you talked about the carbon, or the material used when we were building this, and the expirations and all. We do calculate the usage data when it is in summer. So because the length of the material keeps on varies based upon the atmospheric conditions we have. So even that also is matters. Like if suppose the wire expire, and if the contraction or the expansion and the contraction doesn't happen in those wires. So there also we see a loss. That we'll call it as distribution loss factor on the lines. So these and all will make sure that customer definitely sees. Few of the customers, for them it's like they'll switch on the power and they'll see light is coming or not. But these are the things which the upcoming generation have to know, and we also have to understand how the power is being generated and how we have to save it. So these are all campaigns or these programs helps the end customers to aware of this, like okay, how this is being impacted for every household. So these are all a few programs I just want to let you know, so that already is there. It just like for that programs we were taking more and more information from them, where our databases are loaded with all their sensitive information coming in. But the good part is like the state is supporting for this, and they will make sure that every customer are aware of this. It's their choice to join in it or not, but we'll make sure that okay, you come in this, we'll get to know how we are doing with this, and how they were advertising for solar energy now. We do the same thing for solar energy, and now you have wind energy also, like through windmills you'll have the electricity generated. So these are all will be calculated as per utility only, and we have to work with various aggregators. And when we were working with various aggregators, definitely you see the data transformation happens from the organ arc. So that's where we have to be very careful when passing the customer information, sensitive information. So that is the cyber threat we have, but I think existing can definitely help, and the emerging technologies also that will definitely fasten up the process, so that we can serve more and more customers like this.
Yes, yes, definitely. You are very much correct. And one point I would like to add it here is the smart grid. Smart grid is a same concept that is here in India also. We implemented the solar in most of the cities like Jaipur, where the sun rays are directly falling. So there they implemented the solar plants where they generated more energy than the grid. So means whatever their need, they generated more than that. So they spied
Mm-hmm.
it to the by the reverse meter. That is what we call reverse meter. Means
Great. Okay.
when you are utilizing it, it moves like a clockwise. When you are giving it to the grid, it moves like a anti-clockwise. So it reduces your bill.
Yeah.
I means you have to pay only whatever you need, or you can sell it to the another. If you are in profit, if you are generated more than your utility, definitely your bill will be in the negative side rather than in the positive side. So
Yes. Yes.
this
True.
is yeah. So over to you, Nukul, please.
Thank you, sir. So, ma'am, I would like to tell you questions, but before that, I will like to tell the audience that we have more than 10 communities of students who are watching the session live, and they have sent us various questions which are selected by the panel. And some students might think that they have missed something because they are not here in the live session to ask you some questions. So you can go on Thriu's website and join the site, and you can attend the live session to ask questions from our Thriu's top members. Like you have seen that Nikhitha ma'am is from overseas. She's sharing her experience and all the valuable data with us. So now let us start the question. What are the main cybersecurity threats facing utilities, and how do they differ from threats faced by other industries?
Yeah, I think I already covered this. So
Yes.
first thing is like the ransomware. That's the first thing, which is taking over all your systems, and just asking for the money and all. The second one is like if these having some political wars, definitely asking for a country also. And yeah, that's a part. And another one is like DDoS, denial of service, and you can see the billing fraud, and you do have advanced threat protections, like advanced threats definitely like the cyber use every IT will have the cyber technology people, like a cyber security team who is like if 24/7 they have to guard us the whole IT structure. So every company, every company, however, what are the cyber threats we have, utilities also have the same thing, because every company will work for the customer and customer information with the end customer sensitive information on. So we'll have malware, we'll have phishing, we'll have spam, we will have you know so we do almost have the same thing, but the effects of having this, when it is something affected, maybe some other company has some other loss, like, but here basically the whole the company will be affected. So these threats are being so that is the reason utilities, when acquiring the latest technology, They have to make sure that basic cyber threats are being addressed. Then only they can take the next step, because if they take these cyber threats, they acknowledge these cyber threats only, they can serve the end customer. So they will take, they definitely have the same thing whatever have the other organizations have, but it's about how they were affected. So utilities are affected more compared to the other organizations. What I feel like when I see in my you know. In my organization, I do works with so many cybersecurity experts. So basically, they will ask us, okay, when you are building one application, we have to make sure that we don't put anything on the site without encrypted, without encryption. And also, when we were sharing information without encryption, and when we were putting something on the site, we have to make sure that only certain information of that customer will be placed, not end to end. Like the customer has given. First name, last name, gender, everything, the contact number, these we will not put it on the site. We'll make sure whatever the cybersecurity team allow us, that only we are allowed to use, and that only we have to make sure that those are on the sites. And when we were reaching out to them also, we'll make sure we follow certain techniques to reach to them, and whatever is needed to the IT only will be taken care. The rest of this, I think we will not have that basically wall also to see what is happening from the other end. So that is how the team is working on at present in the company. But I see like some more technologies are coming and which can make the things faster, and I think they'll take up first, and then they'll go for another thing which can make the end customer happy if something comes through. I hope I
Yes,
answered your
and
question.
adding to her, points. The only thing is the cyber security, cyber attacks are not new. They are the same which are utilized in other sectors. The same thing is happening in the utility sector. The only thing is to how to overcome it. I think you can obviously the backend technologies they are using it blockchain and to make it more secure like that. But the only thing is the awareness, the make the people more aware rather than to make the system more secure, because it will make it more complex and complex. We have to see this problem on the other way around, like we have to train the people, like about the malwares or the ransomware or somewhere, means how to use this technology, because she correctly mentioned in in the presentation that the old people, those who are from 60s or 70s, decade, means in that era, so they have a little exposure to these technologies. But yes, since these technologies are more user friendly, they can adopt it very easily, or but still the awareness is the key, that is
Important
to
key.
make it more sustainable. Over to you, Nakul.
Uh, how effective are current cybersecurity techniques in mitigating threats to utilities, and what are the limitations of these techniques?
So yeah, the current definitely we do have the threads, and we are implementing as properly. So that's the reason we have the power as. And the only thing is like they have to implement the reboost cybersecurity measures, like that include network implementation, like the intrusion detection, or you can say any preventive systems, like firewall. These things should be taken care properly. First and foremost thing is, as I mentioned earlier again, it's like the employee training, whether it could be information technology side or an operation field, like the person who is working on the field. He just note it down and he just put that paper in the truck and he just leave it. So there you see it, and they'll just go on ONDC and the area like the lab. They'll just some. I think trespassing is also a cyber threat to utilities company. You can just go and get the information for the meter data. You have it on the generator or the meter, whatever fixed at your house. So that is the basic cyber threat you have. Even you are not at home, you can any other can come and just see your, because it is just fixed outside of your home. You will see it definitely. So employee training and the other operation team should be trained properly all these threats, whatever they are, and also they follow certain rules when they were connecting the end customer, and when they were taking the sensitive information from them. So it's basically teamwork on both, so that we can have the cyber threats. We can mitigate few of the cyber threats we have. and also a regular vulnerability assessments we have to take. So make sure that I already again mentioned in my presentation that we have to definitely take care of the assessments of the customer premise and also the application age. So certain application is there, so we have to evaluate to basis. So for now, maybe now we will be using SAP. Now we want to do something innovative and which can be used for the customer. When we were migrating that lift and shift to another technology, we have to make sure that the sensitive information is getting supported by that application. Implementing in that application also. So when we were moving to cloud, when we were moving, so this certain technology transformation should be taken care properly when they were doing it, and especially when they were dealing with the sensitive information of the customer. And also the incident responses plans. Every incident response plan coming up from the customer should be taken care immediately, so that we can minimize few of the cyber threats if they have anything. And also they can cooperate with certain government agencies. Definitely in every utility company, I was talking about, will have a big parent company, and that's where that company was there from past 120 years, and that company is it's almost like every customer will be there in that company, but certain company for their programs they want to come from another aggregator. So in this case, let me give an example. For suppose you have an Amazon, you want to buy just one thing in Amazon. So the same Amazon product, you can see another third-party website. Let's say Etsy. You will find it another third-party website. Let's say Target. You find from anywhere. So, for example, a big organization for an utility, only one utility company will be there for the state. But when we have to work with our aggregator, we have to make sure the information is same in all, like the sensitive information when we were passing to them and getting to them is like same in all. So the customer might reach out to Etsy and buy your product. The customer, Amazon also sells Samsung, but Samsung is another parent company of it. So basically, when these kind of when we were marketing these programs, we'll try to get more. We will have the digital marketing team work with our aggregators. They'll get our customers in, so that more marketing, more awareness. So we'll work with more of the aggregators. It brings up the customer. So when they bring the customer, that's our job. That we give all the customer information we have when they were enrolling in our particular program, or because they are our customers. Enrolling in some other program is another step. But basically, they are our customers. They'll have their bill coming in, everything. But getting the incentives, participating in some other programs, all these reward programs, we may need some extra information when they are eligible or not. So that extra information, should be taken, should be transferred to the other third-party aggregators, very carefully. For this, we need to have a government agency support. Like we have to take care of DHS sometimes. Because the utility bill is considered as a physical address for proofs, we'll take it as a utility bill, which means every state organization have, we'll consider the utility address as your, proof of address. So basically, we need their support, when we were collecting this kind of information from the end customer. So we will work with the DHS, we will work with the federal energy, companies, and we do work with some threat agencies. So these and all our cybersecurity team will work, and they'll make sure they don't misuse this information, or any of our application builders, misuse the information and transferring the data from one system to another system.
I think she added everything, in this answer to this particular question. The only thing is the SOPs that the companies made, definitely it should be, transferred to the end users to properly. This is the only submission from my side. Otherwise, all the other points are covered by her. So go ahead, next question, please.
The next question is, what are the implications of adopting emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and blockchain for cybersecurity in the utility domain?
Okay. So artificial intelligence, it's my favorite topic. So artificial intelligence can definitely improve the effectiveness how we are serving the customers. As Dr. Weeks definitely mentioned that we can do all this robotic process to collect the bill, pay the bill, everything we can do. The only thing is like we can easily access the controls because it's an automated process. So whatever we give to the system it acts like the same. But when we are using this AI, so the analyzation behavior or the system activity or the security control should be optimized and again to improve the end customer experience, we may need to optimize do this marketing stuff and also we have to make sure the system is good. So every time the data will not be same. Some places the premise can be demolished, some can be active, some can be. So these all we have to keep on updating the automated process whatever we have included. But definitely it will less the workload. It's just how we implement that technology.
Adding to
And coming to
yeah, sorry, please go ahead.
yeah. And coming to the blockchain, definitely it's very transparent in the design, and the participant can share the data, and also it will be definitely away from the attackers. But we were sharing the sensitive data, so the organization must carefully evaluate how much the usage and the data retention policies need to be taken care without exposing any private or sensitive information of the customer. As I said, utility bills or anything is taken as a state proof of individual. So, which means basically a government agency is looking as another proof of that your existence based upon the utility or the a place you are living in. So
Yeah, and adding to this, see, as we talked in the earlier, one earlier talk with Ashish, she is our data scientist in US, and we talked about with these emerging technologies how it disturbs the jobs and everything. Means as AI evolved at a full speed, if I'm correctly said the word, it is at the full speed in 2023, and still not it achieve its maximum, but yes, it is evolving at its full speed, and definitely it will attain its maximum very soon. But with this, how it impacts jobs, or how it impacts our life, we are very scared about, people are scared like we lost our jobs if this technology will overcome. But no, this technology will is coming to help you out, to ease your life, and we have to take it as a positive way. As in earlier talk, we already talked like when the calculator developed, the lot of mathematicians will come up and they said it will ruin everything, and mathematics is disturbed. And but now you see, it helps you to do, because if you're not adding something into your skills, it how you evolve. So this is a very big question. So the only thing is you have to upgrade yourself. The technology change, it means you have to change yourself to meet the requirements, rather than to criticize it, or become scared about that. I think this is a message for all the students or the researcher who are watching us, that the only thing is you have to upgrade your skills, keep searching the new technologies, how it works, how it is applied, rather than to know to just tell like the AI will replaces all the jobs. I think I take it we have to take it as a positive side, rather than the negative side of this particular technology, and definitely it helps the utility domain to move faster. So this
yeah.
is the my submission. Next, Nakul, please.
How can utilities ensure the sustainability of their cybersecurity techniques in the face of evolving threats and changing technologies?
So basically, utility cyber threats is a combination of this proactive risk management. So as I said, we have to adopt and monitor the system. For with the strong security culture we have, and training the associates by raising this incident responses and all, and we have to meet it as quick as possible. So to mitigate the other ones, and how they were sustaining is like uh, basically for any employee when they were logging into the system every day morning, they have to make sure these are like certain thumb rules they have to follow when they are sharing the information within the company network. So so they have to ensure that, and if not also they have to make sure they have to block certain websites when if any of the employee try to navigate these and all they have to. And also Dr. Vic said like AI, yes, we have to use it. I have another session on Chat GPT where last time when I was working with one of my professors here on student academic things, like basically system is there, technology is there, we have to take best out of it, not worst of it. So best out of it to help in your career, or in the ongoing. For suppose you are working on some application where there is a scope that you can implement some automation process using AI, and that can be definitely taken care. Example, I can say a disabled person. Okay, they were they by doing science they can express something which is not, they were not able to do anything. So these all can be achieved by the upcoming technologies. Mostly I feel like that will be helpful to them. But think about the persons or the hackers who are giving the input information for these automated systems. So these all should be taken care. And definitely utilities, that's their basic right to ensure the cyber security techniques whatever they're having now should be taken care as their first step of their on day-to-day basis, and alerting the employees by sending some phishing email so that they know like what they're doing, and another third eye is watching on us. So these are things we have to make sure that our IT employees and the operation team should be aware of this. That's the only way, because in the organization we can take care of it. But when you're working with some end customer, we can't train all 40 million people who are our customers. So it's just like we have to keep on marketing on this. So please be aware of this. Please be aware of this scam. Please be aware of this. So we have to educate the end customer also, because definitely a threat from any government agency which we were tying up is threatening to every one of us, right? So definitely people out of their curiosity or anxiety, they'll just share the information whatever they have, and sometimes the people will go and pay the bill also directly for the unknown numbers they call it for. I mean, I only received almost 10 to 12 spam calls from my company. It's just like what you're because I know I work in the company, I know how my company will communicate to the end customers. Think about the other people who are not aware of this, they'll just go and do this. So basically the marketing techniques on the scams and the spam calls should be it should be sent out for an education to the customers, and it should be marketed well. So that's where the people will be aware of these techniques and threats.
Yes, I think she is correctly said. This is the only submission from my side also. Please go ahead.
So, last question for the day. What are the ethical and privacy considerations associated with collecting and analyzing data for cybersecurity purposes in the utilities domain?
This is basically a general question for all the applications. See, every application may not need every data of what we are collecting it from the customer. So definitely if that company acquires blockchain technology, they know how to ensure the cyber security and the sensitivity of that information, and what all we are collecting from the so the ethical part, we can say. So that's where our cybersecurity team comes in. So they make sure that these incidents or the tickets are being raised to request for the customer information when we were requesting the customer. So in certain days, like we do have some portals where we'll ask our end customers to come and enroll in our programs. So as an IT or our program managers are not allowed to talk to our end customers, because definitely we were working for them, we know their account, we know everything of that information. Only thing is that we don't even know, we should not know their identity. That's one of the other threat, they feel like that they don't want us to do. So basically the ethical part, we can do that, detective intrusions and all, we can stop them. but it's about like how we are utilizing the information on it and how the application can be built upon the information what the end customer gives in. So it's mostly about the filter will taken part at, I think, the organization level on the whole when coming to the IT side. When you come to the operation perspective, definitely. The worker or the field worker who is visiting our customer, right? So we have to make sure that he takes whatever he want, and he, the call should be scheduled for him when he's reaching their home, and he should make sure that they were in proper and secure place, and he should make sure the customer was at home when he's reaching. So these all ethical information all about the customer was taken up by the team, and we will have a certain team for it to take it up. I mean, for our company at least we have it, how to manage the sensitive information we are getting it from the customers, as well as when we were getting it, how we were managing it, and also when we were sharing it to the vendors, how we were managing it. All this will be taken up by our team. Yeah, that's
Okay,
all from my side.
okay,
Yes.
Nakul.
Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. Thank you, sir. Both of you shared very valuable information for our viewers. I hope that they will get a clear information about it. Before ending the session, I would like to explain about Thrius to our viewers so that they can also join this. Sir, will you please share this? So you can see this is the Thrius official website. You can go on this page, and there you have to select communities. In community section, you will get various communities. You can join only one of them. The difference between community and society is that in communities, it is a group of students who are researching on various topics depending on the field that they have chosen. Like I am in the research, I am a researcher in the data science field, and thank you to Pawan sir who allowed me to be in the part of this interview session. Every month, we are going to interview different members from the Thrius Society. You can see on the screen Thrius Society. So the society is consisting of various professors and various researchers overseas and from India also. I would like to explain some more thing. There is not just like community or society. We also have membership plans for students who want to know different information about all the processes going here. So first one is the fellow membership. You can apply for this membership by submitting your resume. It basically costs around 10,000 rupees, but if we like your resume, it is selected by a panel. So the discount coupons are given, and for student membership, it is it costs around 20,000 rupees. But depending upon your resume, the discount is given. There are some members who are given 100% off for their membership because they have an because they have a very effective resume. The benefits of these memberships are you get to increase your domain because you have the network with different members. Like now, today we are interacting with Dr. Nikhitha, and in the previous session we had a conversation with Dr. Ashish, and you can see here honorary fellow membership. So this membership is only given to the board of directors. Dr. Pawan Whig sir is also one of them, and he is experienced in this field for more than 25 years. For complete information, you can go on our website and check all these things. We are just giving a review, and we are going to increase the frequency of the interactive sessions. That is also called Thrius Talk. If you want to attend live session and ask your questions directly from the fellow members, then you can join us, or you can give it a try. So you can see what is your resume comparing to others who have applied. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, okay, Nikita. Thank you. Thanks a lot. to being your talk was really very nice, and I think it covers most of the doubts of the researchers. We will definitely share the link once it is live, and you can go, and you can and one request, you can also share it with your also communities, with your
Sure.
communities. Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for this wonderful opportunity.
Okay.
I mean, you made me so comfortable, even though it is my first time having this kind of interaction section. So thank you so much, Nakul and Dr. Week, sir.
Okay, okay, Nikita. Okay,
Thank you.
Nakul. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Go.
Thank you.
Good
Bye
day.
bye.
Bye.